We're doing a tier list on the most important things naturopathically or naturally for hair growth and to stop hair loss. So let's start with scalp health and blood flow. Now that's I'm going to put that into high. So let's see if I can move this. It's a double click, isn't it? Oh my God. I need to get myself an Apple Mac. Okay, so I'm going to put this up into high because without adequate blood flow and oxygen to the actual follicles, the hair will begin to fall. So it is very important, this one. Second one is scalp massage. I'm going to put that more into situational and short term. Yes, you know, it can be an accessory treatment. Some people actually don't need it, but it can be really important if you have poor blood flow to the hair. So some of the things, if you're tying your hair back and getting poor circulation, poor cervical kind of like flow and stuff like that up into the scalp, then short-term scalp massage can actually help, but it's not an essential. The next one, I'll be looking at clean, non-irritating shampoo. Yes, this is important, but I don't put it up into a high level. It could be situational short-term again. It is important to use a good shampoo. I prefer ones that don't have chemicals in it and ones that help with blood flow to the scalp. One of the important ones, we're looking at nutrients that can cause hair loss. So low iron levels or low ferritin, even 50 and under, can cause hair loss. So that's high. So I'm looking at iron as being up in the high level for sure. You need this. If you're deficient, it will cause hair loss if those levels there. The other really important one is zinc. I'll put this up into high, not that you need this, but you would need it if you were deficient. So this is looking at deficiencies. Zinc is very important as well. If we get zinc deficiencies, our hair will fall, right? It will stop blood circulation. It's, as we said, hair's not essential, but it does need zinc for really good growth. The next one will be iodine. This is something I commonly see. You need this or it's in a high level here. So iodine deficiency, the reason why is I'll put it right at the top, and I see it with most people, is because low iodine causes an underactive thyroid, and underactive thyroid is one of the greatest reasons of why your hair will start to fall out. So this is very important. B vitamins are situational, right? Yes, we can get most of them from the diet. I'm going to put them situational because folate is very important, but B12 is not as important. They can be very important for B12 is more for your brain function. It can help with circulation, but it's not often the reason why the hair falls out. Folate is more to do with the quality of the hair as well. So it's more situational in that kind of area. The next one, really important, stress and cortisol management. I'm putting that, you need this, right? Very high. Let's say S, it's up in this tier. One of the greatest reasons for hair loss is stress. High cortisol blocks the follicle in its growth phase. So the hair will start to fall and not grow properly. Very important. Sleep quality. Now, sleep quality is high as well. The reason why is if you're not sleeping well, what happens? Cortisol levels will start to get imbalanced or high, and it will stop the growth phase. So we'll put it in high, I'll put it in the A tier. I could move it into the S tier if it's a cause, right? But this is really important for us to find out. Blood sugar stability, situational. Okay, so yes, it's involved. It's not a direct cause, but it's more from other things like poor protein intake, other kind of reasons of why we get the blood sugar issue. So it's definitely more situational, B tier, right? When we're looking at protein intake, high. Let's put that in the high because I was even looking at yesterday, I'll put it in high and even move it up into the S that you do need this, right? Because without protein, hair will start to fall. The hair keratin or the protein hair shaft is made from protein. So if you lack protein, it's not going to grow properly, right? So it is up in that S tier. So protein deficiency will cause shedding of the hair. Rosemary oil, okay, this is situational. I love, or no need for some people, right? But yeah, let's put it up in B, situational, short term. It can help, it helps people with blood circulation. It can help growth of the hair follicle. A lot of women use it. It's more for making your hair grow faster rather than hair loss, right? So that can be really important as well. Red light therapy, bloody love it, right? But it's definitely situational as well. So it's in a B tier. So what I mean by that is it's a great accessory treatment. It can be used short term if there's a lot of hair loss problems going on, and it can help to stimulate the growth phase more. It keeps it in the growth phase. Minoxidil, put it in the worst one down possible, which is D, and which will cause more damage, right? This is a short-term solution, but it's a long-term issue. The side effects linked to minoxidil, as soon as you stop it, it gets worse. So there's no point taking it because it just gets worse each time. You have to stay hooked on it, and it creates all these other problems in the body, right? Hair growth serums, I still would put this into situational or no need for some people, because treating hair comes from the inside, right? So it's really important to treat it from the inside out. Rather than looking at serums, I'd be looking at things internally, because if you use a serum and you're not treating the internal, it's still going to fall, So let's look at targeted hair supplements. If they're good quality, they can be great situational, right? Or even up in high if they've got the right ingredients, right? So I'm going to put them up in high if they're developed really well, they've got targeted ingredients in them that cover all the reasons for hair loss. So they should be covering things like nutrient deficiencies, hormonal issues, too much DHT, blood circulation, all the reasons why hair falls out, not just one thing like high biotin, right? Next one, high biotin supplements. I put that down in C. They won't cause more damage, right? But they're only tackling one area. So if biotin is your deficiency, which only biotin alone is very rare, then you're not going to notice much difference. You might notice a bit of higher quality, but it won't target the actual reason. Same thing with hair gummies. If we look at hair gummies, they're down in the C tier. The reason why is you can only fit so much nutrients in a hair gummy. It's not going to target all the reasons for hair loss. They might improve a couple little things if you have nutrient deficiencies, but if there's all these other reasons, which is often the reason for hair loss, they're not going to target it at all. Tied hairstyles and extensions, put that in D tier, right? So that will only cause more hair damage, right? So tied hairstyles block circulation to the hair follicles, and the follicles stop the growth phase. And same with extensions, it creates more damage to the hair. Bleaching and chemical treatments, put that down in D, right? That's going to create a lot more damage, as we all know. So you bleach and you use a lot of chemical treatments, it's going to damage the hair, stop the growth phase, and the hair will eventually start to fall out. The same comes with excess heat styling. Put that down in D. It is going to create a lot more damage to the hair. The heat will damage the keratin, the follicle, and you're going to need more moisture to try to help it. But what you'll notice is the hair will start to break, right? Crash dieting and under eating, D. Nutrient deficiencies, protein deficiencies, iodine, zinc, folate, all the reasons why we get hair loss. And you'll find that with crash dieting and under eating. You'll get malnutrition and your hair will start to fall. Hormonal changes are really important, postpartum and perimenopause. Put that up into high, right? This is high for women that are experiencing postpartum hormonal changes and perimenopause. So it'll definitely cause hormonal shifts. So a good example is when we get low progesterone, even PCOS, the low progesterone will cause hair shedding, the high androgens will cause high DHT, and it will stop the hair growing. So very important. Thyroid health, I'm putting that right at the top in S. Sorry.
This is like,
yeah.
Is this healing hormonal
yes,
symptoms?
That's right, it's healing it. So if we look at high, very high, or some women need this. So this is where it's quite hard. So if it is caused from hormonal changes, low progesterone, high androgens, you would have to put this up into S. You need this. So let's move that up because it will cause hair loss or hair shedding and androgen problems, right? And then the other one that's really important in S2, you need this, thyroid health. If you have an underactive thyroid, if you've got antibodies against your thyroid, and if you've got high reverse T3, your hair will start to fall. So you need to correct the thyroid imbalance to stop the hair loss and to improve the quality of your hair.
Is there anything you'd like to adjust?
Zinc's a really important iron. So all the ones that I've put up in S are really important because they will cause hair loss if you do have deficiencies, right? So I would keep them up into that area. Not everyone has that issue, but you need this if you are deficient in these things. So I would definitely keep them up there. In this area, we've got the good hair things, that's high. Yep, looks fantastic. That's where I would keep everything. The only thing I did miss in there was autoimmunity. So inflammation, autoimmunity, but that's just something to add. You need this if it is an issue. So that's good.